Hey everybody, I just want to introduce my very good friend, Demetrius. Demetrius, thank you for participating in the Passionate Ones project. As I like to ask everybody, Demetrius, how did we meet?
I think we met about 9 years ago in Silver Lake.
Silver Lake. Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yes.
I was still living here at the time. I was having a life-changing experience when I met you.
Really?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I recall there was a red gate. It was a studio.
Yes.
You came up the drive and it was like some sort of creative space happening for you.
Well, I'm glad that you remember it because I sure as hell didn't, because I was in my downward spiral at the time, but thank you for reminding me. Listen, Demetrius, the reason why I'm interviewing all my friends and acquaintances is for a number of reasons. The project is called The Passionate Ones, and I've known you long enough to realize that you're very passionate about your work. So what I wanted to start off with, first and foremost, is could you tell us a little bit about the work that you do here in LA?
Oh, wow. I'm passionate about my work, and then I think, well, what is my work? Because I'm a jack of all trades.
Yes, I know.
It's always a loaded question when you ask a hustler, what's their work? And I'm like, all these things. I'm like, octopus.
And that's what I've always admired about you, because early on when we first met, I was slightly, let's just say disheveled and sort of learning how to crawl again. And I meet you, and I'm seeing that you've got your fingers in a lot of different pies. And I just want to know, is it still like that now?
100%. When I met you, I was doing a lot of movie grunt work. I was working on sets. I was traveling a lot.
What is grunt work on a movie set?
I don't want to offend anyone.
Okay.
But, you know, I was below the line. To me, a movie set is a construction site.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the glamour of a movie, the glamour that happens, or the mystique and the thing that makes people so attracted to it, has nothing to do with the actual work. You understand? In my experience, the harder it is to make a movie, the better the movie comes out. So if you're having a great time, you're probably making a shitty movie.
I see,
right?
I see.
So
you were basically suiting up and showing up every day, it looks like.
For years.
Right.
For years. I still get, I don't have to make a call time at 4 or 5 a.m., but because of all that work, I'm still up at the crack no matter what. No matter what time I go to sleep, I'm always up at least by 6.
Yeah.
Most of the time between 4 and 5.
Yeah,
it's
me
not
too.
cool. It's not.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I get up at stupid o'clock now every day, and for me it's like I can't wait to get up. And I know it's still dark outside, even in the summer. It's still dark when I get up, and for me it's a time for a little bit of inner reflection, make some coffee, figure out what my intention for the day is going to be, and then get on it.
And it is always a sweet, silent vibe early in the morning.
Yes, it is.
You called it stupid o'clock.
Stupid o'clock.
I call it 0 dark 30.
All right, well, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's like this whole COVID-19 pandemic. How has the pandemic affected your work? Has it affected your work? I mean, I know that a lot of movie sets were shut down for a while, and
Well, I haven't because of I don't know, my ability to hustle, because I'm from here, I'm extraordinarily comfortable in my skin. I haven't had to work on a movie in a really long time. I've been doing other things,
such as
we have an art gallery, I have a shop, we have a ranch. So things are like, again, I wear a lot of hats.
It's like life is getting bigger.
Life is a lot bigger, and I'm a lot more grateful, but I think in order to afford to live in a place like this, you've got to be taking it in from many different places.
Yes.
Or it'll be taken out of other orifices.
It'll be taken away before you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is like the lead into my next question. I've noticed during the pandemic, people have had two kind of responses to this apocalypse, for lack of better words. And that is either they've been paralyzed with fear and anxiety and just not done anything and just live in that pity that they've created for themselves, or they've reinvented themselves. Where in the spectrum, I know this is a stupid question, I probably already know the answer to this, but where in the spectrum did you feel you fell as soon as you knew that the shit was hitting the fan?
Well, that's a great question. It's a good question. You know, I live in the land of magical thinking. So when first faced with adversities and things like this, I get excited. You know, for me as a hustler, I'm all about the pivot, and it's important to recognize, like my friend calls it, punctuated equilibrium. And the entire world's equilibrium is off.
Yeah.
And half of my country, no matter what half you're on, is completely divided.
I love that you said you live in the pivot.
Yes.
So you're just a natural born hustler.
100%.
But again, I say this because I know a little bit about you, and I know that like you throw as much shit up against the wall, and then you see what sticks, and then you go after it. And so, specifically, because I was talking to your beautiful girlfriend Laura, who owns the store, well, you guys own the store Matrushka here in Echo Park. Tell me about the day that you guys decided to make masks.
Oh wow, you need to talk to her,
But I know that you had something to do with it.
She obviously the pandemic was hitting. She was deciding whether to move her store, because here in Silver Lake they sold the whole block.
Yeah.
She was deciding whether to dumb it way down or to go big. Right. And then a pandemic hits, and your environment starts making decisions for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And she went after this mask thing, and she just caught that perfect little wave, and she just rode that motherfucker until the cows came home.
It
was a really, really like serendipitous, plus just sheer work ethic and just pounding of the pavement to get it done.
Right.
And so the store, you couldn't go in the store because it was a pandemic. She turned the store into this full-on mask-making factory.
Cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah. And
then farmed out. People were coming to get their kits. She invented kits in order to make the mask to keep up with the demand.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you? This is
my contribution to masks was taking them to the post office 4 times a day.
So okay, so you being of service.
100%.
All right, cool. And okay, so for all the things that you're throwing up against the wall, or were throwing up against the wall, did that like suddenly stop for you at one point, or did you see opportunity in the midst of crisis?
There's always opportunity in the midst of crisis, and you know, when you're breathing air and you're sitting upright, and in the moment, everything is okay. Like in this moment, talking to you, everything is okay. So what does that mean? That means I need to be grateful. That means that I need to use my 2 strong legs and my 2 strong arms and my brain to figure out a way not only just to survive, but to thrive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. I've been surviving my whole life, and you're talking to a person that, you know, unless faced with extinction, like, am I really gonna do something about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're hearing of of friends. I've had close friends that have passed away due to the COVID. It just gave me an overwhelming amount of gratitude, and it also gave me the sense of like, you know, I think everything's going to be okay.
I have to agree with you there. I think there's I think we can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think it happened a couple of Saturdays ago when we elected a new president, and you know, bringing in a whole new administration with a totally different take on this stuff. I think people have maybe, I know I did. I breathed a sigh of relief. What do you see happening like in the future? I don't really like asking this question, but I mean, we have to look ahead, because this thing isn't going to be here forever, but it is here now, and I think it's changed a lot of our attitudes and perhaps maybe ways of thinking and behaving. The question I always like to ask is, do you miss anything about like the before times?
I mean,
it feels like it's such a long time ago.
For sure.
Almost a year now.
I still haven't gotten used to these times. I'm super awkward. I see people that, you know, I've been friends with for 10 years, and I don't know how to act because I don't know how they're going to act. And I want to be considerate.
Yeah.
Do I, you know?
Do we throw the elbow out? Do we like fake hug or the hug?
Exactly.
I get a little bit of everything.
So there's that. So I don't, like, again, with the punctuated equilibrium, like, it's amazing how the universe has forced us, or me, to at least be slightly aware of my lack of balance. You know, I don't have balance, but man, is it something I could strive for? Is it something that I think about all the time? 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't think things are ever going to be normal again.
No,
or the way they were.
I have to agree with you to some degree. I mean, even if there's a vaccine, this has been not just a life-changing experience. This has been an event-changing experience down the line, and I'm actually really interested to see how it's going to play out in 6 months, a year, 2, and see what happened to us in the past 11 months, and what are we going to take with us? What are we going to carry forward? What are you going to carry forward? I mean, even when the dust settles, I mean, I know I'm asking a lot with this question, but I feel, again, you know, there's two ways to approach this. We can either say that, like, you know, I give up, I'm done, you know, stick a fork in me, I'm moving up to the mountains, or I'm going to try to make this world a little bit better. Can you, like, give me an idea of where you see it going?
What's it?
It is, I guess, for lack of better words, our lives, our work, everything that encompasses, everything that we did in the past is now, you can almost wipe that slate clean, because, like I said, even when the dust settles, there's going to be a whole new way of doing something that we did with ease a year ago. Whether it's getting tested on a weekly or monthly basis, whether it's like constantly washing our hands, or, I mean, are masks going to be like, you know, the new accessories that's permanently attached to our bodies?
I think there's something extremely attractive about being in a secluded place if you can earn a living there. Who wants to pay what we pay in places like this when you can't even walk down the street because, you know?
That's actually. Can I stop you right there?
Sure.
This is where I think technology has actually we've been benefited by having it. I know certain, like I'm in the I make stuff, and I usually sell them to stores, and then then they sell it and pay me. And in the middle, like the first 2 weeks of COVID lockdown in Italy, I'm saying to myself, these stores are gonna fucking close. I don't have like a channel, like a delivery channel anymore. How am I gonna get like my stuff into stores? How am I gonna get my stuff into stores? And then I automatically just thought, hey, you know what? What if I just sold directly to the final consumer? So I went and took a big chunk of that luxury that I had been given. It was given, I think a lot of us had been given this gift during this pandemic, and that was time. Whereas we didn't have to go to work, we didn't have to have this regular routine for 40 hours a week. So what do we do with this extra 40 hours? And what I decided, you know what? I'm going to change my entire business paradigm.
It's amazing.
And in doing so, now I have to get a website. I've got to figure out how to sell directly to the consumer. Do I go on Shopify? Do I do Depop? Do I, go right to Amazon? And so now I'm spending all this time researching. That's what it was for me. What do you think, like with your businesses, with your, like you said, maybe I will move to this secluded area, and how am I going to sell my shit?
Well, obviously with technology, and because there was the brick and mortars and the old way of doing things, which I don't even agree with personally.
What do you mean?
Like,
you like to buy stuff online?
Sure, but I'm saying, like, so you've mastered this little pocket of the world of Los Angeles,
yeah,
and it's supposed to be cool, because Huffington Post said it's the hippest neighborhood in America. Like, but so what?
Yeah,
so
that's good if you have tourism and you have people coming here.
Exactly, but even take it a step further. So these cool people have taken a liking to your creativity. To hell with them. You need to go and find the equally cool people in all the other places, because America, the world, is big.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, you can say that because you travel so much.
Right, but so, hey, here comes pandemic. Guess what? You didn't want to do that? Guess what? You're gonna do that, or you're gonna fucking drown.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And because
you did it, and you're swimming.
Well, I was, like I said, I got lucky. I got lucky in the sense that I wasn't paralyzed with fear, at least not for very long. I mean, I think I was in denial at first, and then after the denial part came and we were on lockdown, I'm like, well, the first thing I decided to do is I'm not watching any TV. So that took a lot of time away from something that's sort of like very passive and doesn't really bring me anything. And then I just had an epiphany of like, I need to fucking make money. And then I realized, okay, maybe Amazon, because I was buying something on Amazon and having it delivered. I said, wait a minute, I could do the same thing with the shit that I make.
100%.
And then, the whole TikTok thing, and then I saw another stream of passive income maybe happening there, and I took advantage of that. But yeah, I'm a half full glass kind of guy, and I know that you are too. 100%. And I know that, like, the reason why I wanted to talk to you is because I just want to let people know that, like, this isn't the shit that people are making it out to be, and you don't have to be in a state of fear and feel paralyzed that you can't do anything.
100%.
And sometimes that thing that you're looking at or looking for is right in front of you, but we just don't have the capacity to see it at the moment because there's just so much confusion going on in our heads. It just is blinding us. which leads me to my last and final question, Demetrius.
There's more questions.
Okay, this is the last one, I promise. But how do you clear your head to the point? Because I asked you this question because I know you do it really, really well. But talk to us about this routine that you do on the daily.
I have. Thank you. I have this thing, this spiritual thing that I do, and I don't do it all the time. But I do it 10% the first thing in the morning. So it's I don't do it all the time, but I do it 10% of the time, the first 10% of my life. And
which is 10% more than you would otherwise be doing it anyway. So like what's 10% of 0? 10%.
Right.
Right? So at least you're doing something. Right.
100%. What is it? I'd rather have 10% of something than 100% of nothing.
That's a great song, by the way.
Right. Right. And
I should have that song playing in the background.
So this thing, and I meditate. I do this thing. It's been a game changer, a lifesaver, and I get to mirror people and bounce things off of people. And
do you like to ask for help?
Sure. But to hear like minds or uber successful people or just regular people like myself, see them go through and deal with and process the same problems that I may be having that I thought were because I was so unique, which I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's like you can come to me and say, look, I've got this problem I'm dealing with, and I can give you really good advice on it. In turn, I could be having the same problem, but I can't give myself the advice because I'm going to give myself wrong advice. It's really strange how that happens. It's like, if I listen to myself, then I'm going to fuck it up. But if I tell you, XYZ is happening in my life, can you help me out? What do you think I should do? You can give it straight up.
Sure.
Because you're not going to bullshit me, whereas I'm going to bullshit myself. I'm going to give myself the easy answer, not the difficult one, because I don't want to hear about the difficult one. And I think that's what, I guess, growth. I guess you can call it growth. And I learned that shit from you. And, well, listen, let's clear the air here a little bit in total honesty and total disclosures, because in part, you did save my life in your own way. I mean, a lot of people have actually saved my life, but you were one of the few early on who you had said earlier, you bounce things off people who you like what they have.
Sure.
And that was one of the things that attracted me to you. Is like this guy's got his shit together. I need to find out why and how he works, and I got to learn how to do what he does. And that's what's always my mornings always come back to that. I can't be fucking around right now at 4:00 in the morning. I got to do this part, and then I got to do that part, and then I got to do another part, and then it's really weird. My day off is like a Wednesday or maybe a Thursday.
Oh, really?
I got to give myself 24.
Sure.
And I, put away the phone. I just pick up a book and just not even, just stay away from everything and everybody. Yeah. Because even I can be a workaholic, like I was an alcoholic. So sometimes I can't distinguish between the two. So I have to give myself. I gotta give myself moments and pause. So I heard somebody say once, I like to live in the pause, and I think I understand what they meant by that. but usually that's when I'm having an argument with somebody, and not just day-to-day bullshit. But anyway, Demetrius, thank you. I just wanted to say that you have been a real special person in my life, and I hope that our friendship continues. And thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.